Welcome to Xi Jinping Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Thursday briefing, blasts in Iran kill dozens. Too risky for Taylor Swift to tour Taiwan because of its geopolitical tension with China. 2024 economic outlook, China, Trump and the next black swan. Foreign figures named in Jimmy Lai trial dismiss sham allegations. Why Taylor Swift is caught up in Taiwan's presidential election. Thursday briefing, blasts in Iran kill dozens. New York Times. Two explosions near a cemetery in Kerman, Iran, killed at least 95 people and injured 211 others on January 3. The blasts took place during a procession to commemorate the anniversary of the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, Iran's former top military general. Officials said the bombs appeared to have been detonated remotely. The death toll is expected to rise. The explosions came a day after an explosion killed several Hamas officials in Beirut, Lebanon. Meanwhile, U.S. spy agencies believe that Hamas used the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza as a command center. The Israeli military raided the complex in November. Too risky for Taylor Swift to tour Taiwan because of its geopolitical tension with China. Telegraph. Opposition party, Kuomintang, KMT, has claimed that Taylor Swift canceled a concert in Taiwan due to geopolitical risks caused by the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, DPP's China skeptic rhetoric. Jia Shaokong, the KMT's vice presidential candidate, argued that the DPP's increased tensions with China were to blame. China claims Taiwan as its own and has been increasing military and political pressure on the island. The DPP denied the claim, pointing out that other international artists had recently performed in Taiwan. 2024 economic outlook, China, Trump and the next black swan. Deutsche Welle. Foreign figures named in Jimmy Lai trial dismiss sham allegations. The Independent. Hong Kong rights activists based in Britain and the US have responded to being named as so-called co-conspirators in the national security trial of media mogul Jimmy Lai. Mr. Lai, 76, who was a leading critic of Xi Jinping's Chinese Communist Party, is facing life imprisonment on 2 charges of conspiracy to collude with foreign forces, including calling for sanctions against Hong Kong and Chinese officials under the draconian new national security laws. The founder of the now-defunct pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily is also charged with conspiracy to publish seditious publications. On Tuesday, lead prosecutor Anthony Chow accused a number of foreign nationals, including British and Hong Kong activists and several senior Washington officials, of colluding with Mr. Lai, outlining details including WhatsApp records for the first time in the trial. Why Taylor Swift is caught up in Taiwan's presidential election. The Independent. A Taiwanese politician from the opposition party has claimed that Taylor Swift refused to perform in Taiwan due to geopolitical risks, specifically fearing a war with China. The claim comes ahead of the Taiwanese elections, which China has heavily targeted. Taiwan is self-governed but claimed by Beijing, and Chinese President Xi Jinping has threatened to bring about reunification by force if necessary. The Taiwanese Culture Ministry responded to the allegations by stating that several high-profile international artists have performed in Taiwan recently, but did not confirm or deny the Swift claim. Taiwan is an existential threat to Xi Jinping's China. Telegraph. The upcoming presidential and legislative elections in Taiwan have become a potential flashpoint between China and the West. Chinese President Xi Jinping presents the assimilation of Taiwan into mainland China as a historical inevitability that is central to his goal of rejuvenating the Chinese nation. However, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen argues that relations across the Taiwan Strait should be determined by democracy and the will of the Taiwanese people, directly challenging Xi and the Chinese Communist Party's (CCP) agenda. Taiwan's success as a democratic and prosperous nation is seen as an existential threat by the CCP, as it undermines their claim that there is no viable alternative to their rule in China. The current trade war between China and the West is already being fought over Taiwanese territory, and as long as Taiwan remains a red line for Beijing, Western military support is crucial for Taiwan's autonomy. The U.S., in particular, has been providing military aid to deter China from invading Taiwan. However, China has been expanding and modernizing its military capabilities under Xi, and there are concerns that it intends to invade Taiwan in the future. The article argues that the economic damage of a war would not deter China, as the CCP prioritizes party power over the well-being of the Chinese economy and people. However, the Taiwanese people, especially the younger generation, do not want to exchange their freedom and prosperity for the CCP's rule. The article concludes that the futile ambition of Xi to annex Taiwan must be checked to prevent a bloodbath and further oppression. Canada must face the facts, China is now closed for business. The Globe and Mail. Canada should not expect prospects with China to improve anytime soon, says Charles Burton in the Globe and Mail, for various reasons including growing concerns about China's political stability and Beijing's increasing control over business data. The West also needs to work harder to keep India's democracy from allying with China. Canada needs to collaborate with urgency to achieve greater integration into the Indian economy and reduce its dependence on China, particularly as the world demands Canadian critical minerals and energy resources. Abrupt dismissals point to Xi Jinping's quiet shakeup of China's military. New York Times. Chinese President Xi Jinping has expelled 9 high-ranking military officials from the country's Communist Party-run legislature. The move is thought to be indicative of Xi's campaign to root out corruption and misconduct in the People's Liberation Army, PLA, specifically focusing on agencies involved in the development of weapons and military infrastructure. Xi has previously launched high-profile campaigns against corruption within the Communist Party but, with respect to the PLA, the current campaign has been conducted without official acknowledgement. Observers have noted that the dismissals have excluded some of Xi's long-standing allies, indicating a targeted crackdown designed to assert control over the arms sector. The PLA's arms development programs, which have received significant investment over recent decades, are seen as particularly susceptible to corruption. The dismissals will slow down the launch of new weapons and facilities whilst they are examined for potential defects. It remains unclear whether the scrutiny has extended to officials appointed to Xi's top leadership team in 2022. 2 key military appointments from China's naval ranks reflect Xi's territorial ambitions, analysts say. CNN. China's new defense minister has been appointed with a focus on Taiwan, according to analysts. Admiral Dong Jun, who was named defense minister last week, has extensive experience in both the People's Liberation Army Navy, Plan, and in Chinese military operations in areas neighboring Taiwan. Taiwan is a key priority for Chinese President Xi Jinping, who aims to rejuvenate China and reunite Taiwan with the mainland. China claims Taiwan as its own territory, despite never having controlled it, but aims for peaceful reunification. However, it has not ruled out using force to take control of the island. The appointment of Admiral Dong Jun, alongside the new overall commander of the plan, Admiral Hu Zhongming, reflects China's focus on Taiwan, as well as its military capabilities in the South China Sea. China closed 2023 with a military purge. Foreign policy. China's recent military purge, in which 9 high-ranking generals were removed from the National People's Congress, NPC, is seen by some as preparation for war. However, military purges are a common feature of autocratic rule and are often aimed at asserting the ruling party's control over the military. Corruption within the People's Liberation Army, PLA, has been a long-standing issue, and Chinese President Xi Jinping has intensified anti-corruption efforts within the PLA since taking office in 2012. The recent purge may be part of Xi's efforts to control the military and ensure its readiness for a potential conflict over Taiwan. The corruption within the PLA rocket force may be related to the real estate market downturn or the expansion of China's nuclear arsenal, which involves substantial land acquisition and potential for corruption. The cleanup within the military is not expected to have a significant impact in the long run, as corruption issues tend to resurface due to the lack of transparency and oversight. The recent purge may temporarily affect the efficiency of the PLA rocket force, as officials become cautious to avoid being scapegoats. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your trusted observer from the 6 Degrees world. Today, we have seen a range of news stories that highlight the geopolitical tensions and power struggles happening around the globe. From the deadly explosions in Iran, to Taylor Swift's rumored concerns about touring in Taiwan, and the economic outlook for China and the world, there is no shortage of interesting developments. Let's start with the explosions in Iran. The bombings near a cemetery during a procession to commemorate the assassination of Qasem Soleimani are a tragic reminder of the ongoing tensions in the region. As the death toll continues to rise, it is clear that the situation is far from stable. Similarly, the explosion in Lebanon targeting Hamas officials raises questions about the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Moving on to Taylor Swift's supposed cancellation of a concert in Taiwan, it seems that politics and geopolitical tensions are creeping into the world of music. The claim that Swift backed out due to geopolitical risks caused by the ruling Democratic Progressive Party's China skeptic rhetoric is an interesting twist. It highlights the complexities of international relations and how they can affect even the most seemingly unrelated industries. Looking ahead to the economic outlook, experts are predicting a bumpy ride in 2024. The global economy is expected to face challenges, with concerns about weaker global growth, high interest rates, and China's cooling economy. However, there are differing opinions on China's prospects. While some worry about a potential economic implosion or invasion of Taiwan, others remain optimistic about China's ability to weather the storm. One thing is clear: the 2024 U.S. presidential election and the trade war with China will be decisive events that shape the economic landscape. Shifting gears to Hong Kong, media mogul Jimmy Lai's trial has implicated foreign figures, including British and Hong Kong activists, in alleged collusion with foreign forces. This trial highlights the ongoing tensions between Hong Kong and China, as well as the global implications of these conflicts. It is a reminder of the challenges faced by activists and the complexities of international relations. Lastly, we come to the situation in Taiwan. The upcoming presidential and legislative elections have become a potential flashpoint between China and the West. President Xi Jinping sees Taiwan's assimilation as a historical inevitability, while President Tsai Ing-wen argues for self-determination and democracy. The tensions between China and Taiwan are not to be taken lightly, as they have the potential to escalate into a full-blown conflict. The West's military support for Taiwan is crucial in maintaining its autonomy and deterring Chinese aggression. In conclusion, today's news highlights the intricate web of geopolitical tensions and power struggles happening around the world. From deadly explosions to political cancellations and economic uncertainties, there is no shortage of challenges. It is crucial for us to stay informed and engaged with these issues, as they have far-reaching implications for our global community. Now, it's your turn. What are your thoughts on these news stories? Do you have any questions or insights to share? Let's open the floor for discussion. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.